He's famous, and obviously coming from the pool world. This is the lag, nearest to the top rail. Will break first, and that's going to be the 9 ball. Had a little look in that side.
Whatever lead in 2021. Yapp, who was playing and breaking brilliantly that week, went into an 8-3 lead.
It's all about how hard you hit the ball here. That looks pretty good.
Aloysius Yapp wins the
on
rack.
so many occasions when a player scratches back earlier, and worth also mentioning the standard on display in that final. And again, just emphasising
to warm up, just because simply you're potting balls.
You might think a 30-second shot clock is harsh.
Aloysius.
How's the bank? Cashed.
That's why the pockets on a pool table.
Let me quickly tell you, the aforementioned Fraser Pat. Well, they say you don't want movement behind a pocket. The fly was getting in the way there.
Problems at some point in this match. Not the
Aloysius Yapp wins the rack.
Contrasting emotions for these two. Pocket
that was a classy shot.
Tiny. Good cueing needed.
He knows how good.
Good
Biado
cueing.
is, he started off very slow here. This is going to dress up perfect. Got a nice.
Biado, though, has got plenty. 4-0.
So it's the first option. This needs to bounce the 7, then he'll get the hook. Maybe. That's not bad, he's played it that way. It's like an overcut.
He was totally out of position.
I'll tell you what, Phil. Biado.
Everything was against him. The difficulty of the shot being 4-0 down.
Went rail first to get the cue ball back out into centre of the table.
And it's not as though he's running rack after rack, breaking off and...
Aloysius Yapp wins the rack.
Yeah, sometimes needing...
So it's turned out in his favour. The 5 has disappeared, so as long as you hit the lowest ball first, you can pot another ball and you stay at the table.
It is 5-1 for Fraser Patrick over Georgie Yapp. Right now, Carlo is putting the O in.
Yeah, if you've just turned on the pool and the pocket. How's the pace? It looks good, you know. Oh, it's perfect because he's not come past the pot. Jeremy Jones at the top of the show, Phil, he said, if you're not quite on your game, you will get beat.
When they met in that US Open final, unlikely, in Atlantic City in 20. Yeah, he's a very consistent campaigner these days. Of course, he's won the International Open, as you mentioned earlier on, Carl, in each of the last 2 years. And I thought when Europe were on the comeback trail.
And just last weekend, got to the final, losing out to Mickey Krause is also through to the final. 16 place in the next session.
Aloysius Yapp.
6 becomes 7, but today he's been so off the pace.
Yapp's just been there to pick up the pieces. You know, he's at the table. He's 8-2 up over Tejas Nagoki.
Underlining his confidence.
You know, absolutely. Another wrap where Carlo has got his hand on the slate as well. That shot where he cut the ball along the bottom rail. He was trying to go up and down with the cue ball. He misjudged it and sent the cue ball into the pocket where
Hill finishes. You want competitive contests. But I think there's a real fascination about matches like this, when a giant of the game is being humbled.
Aloysius Yapp.
That was his 66th.
What a beauty!
Biado hasn't potted a ball since the 3rd rack.
Yep, lowest ball first. That's what we call a carom. But he's missed it. The donut might not happen after all. At last, Carlo Biado. Cue ball needs to go. It needs to go. It's not perfect. This is thin. Going to be travelling as well. Well, after everything that's gone on. Yeah, he played it that way, purposely playing it off the rail so he could.
Looks as though.
Carlo Biado.
And don't. Right off Carlo Biado.
He's going to need a little bit of help from the old pool gods. 4-8 short in the break, Carlos. Kind of hope he puts a little bit of hill rack all day long. Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah, psychologically, the most important thing is to keep hitting the extreme edge of the 6 ball. What a shot that was.
What's he going to do here? He's landed super straight. He's going to have to stop the ball there and play the bank. Okay.
Not far off, Carl, but yeah.
Well, you get punished, don't you? Carlo had his chance in this rack. Just lost it.
Aloysius Yapp. Just connecting the dots here.
Cheers.
1 to 2.
And that's one of the junior matches. One of the older teenagers. There's a
Aloysius Yapp.
here, one of the game's established stars.